For the second time today, I race to the garage and hop back on my bike. Then I drive to Ace. The campus feels even more empty than usual. Even though it's after hours, I have no trouble swiping into the hangar. All is quiet, except for the sound of my footsteps. I cannot get to Eagle fast enough, and as soon as I do, I plop down at the terminal and boot up the computer. I follow the instructions Valerie left for me, and I'm greeted by the password prompting screen she showed me earlier. She said there was a hint here. Let's see what it says. The screen is a scrambled mess of words with no rhyme or reason to them. I read through a couple of times, making sure my eyes don't skip any words. Most of these words mean nothing to me, but a select few stand out. Cricket, Moo, Sir Hopsalot? Oh god, probably like childhood stories? Those were childhood nicknames Dad gave me. Each one of them has a story, but none of them were very long-lived. The ultimate nickname that stuck with me for an embarrassingly long time was Meatball, because when I was born, my cheeks were big and round like meatballs. Dad's favorite story to tell was the time I started school. The teacher called Hugh for roll call, and I stayed silent, so she marked me absent. After she had gone through the list of names, I said she didn't call mine. She asked if my name was Hugh, and I responded with no. My name is Meatball. What? I've been called Meatball at home for so long that I didn't even know my real name. Really, dude? Oh, I thought my name was Meatball. That must be the answer. I apprehensively type in Meatball into the password prompt. My finger hovers over the enter key before pressing it. Uh-oh, what if it were like wrong and it just completely explodes? The prompt screen disappears, and a video pops up on the screen. My breath catches in my throat, and Dad looks straight into the camera. Oh shit. Oh god, it's gonna be one of those videos. Oh no. There are dark circles under his eyes, and worry lines around his mouth. His hair sticks up at odd angles, and his clothes are smudged with dirt and oil. He notices the recording light is on, and tries to fix himself up a bit before giving me a weak smile.
The fact that you are watching this now means something must have gone wrong.
It seems like it. He sighs, and his voice grows thick.
I'm sorry.
I try to swallow the lump in my throat and ignore the sting of tears in my eyes. This isn't the Dad I remember. The Dad I remember had a booming laugh which would take up the room. He was sure of himself and never had regrets.
By putting this technology in Eagle, I have potentially endangered you. But I don't know where else I can keep it safe. Meteor Energy doesn't fully understand the scope of this research. They're willing to sell it to anyone without considering the consequences. Companies which would weaponize this technology will cause irreparable damage. They could create energy explosions 13 times the force of a nuclear bomb.
Oh god. Yep, and selling something like that to the wrong people can cause, yep, boom, bye-bye world. He sets his jaw and lifts his gaze back towards the camera. His eyes are unusually steely and cold.
That's why I caused the fire. I burned all copies of my research to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands.
Ah. So our dad caused the fire. So Ezra was actually right. But our dad had kind of good reasons for it. For the greater good, I guess, right? Because all these corporations only want and care about is money. But our dad actually, you know, he had a long-term look at not just the company and everything else, but just everything of the entire world. And, you know, at some point that would come into the wrong hands, and that's the kind of weird thing about science, right? Sure, with a lot of great new things, or with, you know, new technology being discovered, this and that, a lot of good things have been created as well, but at the same time, bad things as well. Dad runs his hands through his hair, a gesture he would do whenever he was stressed. or worried.
It's hard to completely destroy 20 years of research. Especially when this technology could bring so much good.
And then it hurts so much more when you know that it could potentially be used for bad as well.
The possibilities would have been endless. This new format of energy may function similarly to existing methods, but the fundamental principles are vastly different and have far wider scalability implications.
A shadow of his old self returns while he talks, and I catch a glimpse of a genuine smile. Dad was always a bit of a dreamer. Then his face becomes grim.
And that is why this core is sitting in Eagle now.
His piercing gaze stares right into my soul.
I'm sorry for getting you involved. I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with what I started. But most of all, I'm sorry I wasn't able to tell you this in person.
I kind of understand, Dad. His eyes look glassy and glittered too much beneath the light.
I probably don't say this enough, but I'm so proud of who you've grown up to be.
Are you still proud of me now, Dad?
I know, if you're watching this, that I've put a heavy burden on your shoulders, but I trust you will make the right decision. My only hope is that you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
Dad glances behind him. Something must have spooked him, because when he faces the camera again, he smiles feebly, and his voice is quiet.
Take care of your sister.
This really seems like a goodbye video.
Goodbye, son.
What? The video cuts off abruptly, like he knew something was gonna happen to him. At first, I'm too stunned to move. The image of Dad is seared into my eyes. He was the same, yet so unfamiliar. As his face slowly fades away, I'm surprised to feel wetness on my cheeks. He knew. He knew exactly what he was doing when he hid this technology inside of Eagle. And now I understand why I wasn't allowed to help program the core. I understand why Dad seemed almost obsessive about completing Eagle. It also makes sense why I never noticed the difference between this core and any other core. Dad never matured the technology. But he must have set up the overdrive configuration probably not long before he... Oh god. He set the overdrive to only happen once, so I'd begin to search for answers. His last words ring in my mind. Goodbye, son. He knew the implications of his research and entrusted it all to me through the gear we built together. Eagle. I glance over at Eagle, partially obscured by shadows. The darkened blue no longer seems warm and inviting like the salty spray of the ocean, but feels dangerous and cold like a winter sky. I try to bring up the video once more so I can hear his voice one more time, see his face, even though it's not the one I want to remember. But I can't. It was a one-time initiation. As I tried to process the situation, I don't know what to feel. I recall Dad's hollow cheeks and the shadow of pain in his eyes. Of one thing I am certain. I cannot keep using the core knowing all this. But what will I do about the research? Destroy it all, keep it protected. One thing I find strange though, right, is that he could have destroyed it all himself, right? Why didn't he? He destroyed all the, the proper research they did at Midori Energy. He burned all of that by causing the fire. But for some reason, he kept this part of our core, He kept that thing that he researched. For some reason, like the big part that they were all after, he kept that though, inside of our gear. Like, isn't that the thing that definitely the research you want to destroy, because then nobody is able to recreate it, right? They won't be able to make it themselves, Midori Energy. But this is the actual thing. Why didn't he destroy that as well? And another thing is that even if we destroy ours, is like, Illudian apparently now has this technology as well. How do we prevent them from using this as well? They got the, like, Midori somehow got the blueprints for it anyway. It may not be as good of a version as Dad's, but still, they're working on it. They got some of it. So, like, even if we destroy ours, I don't think that's gonna put an end to everything, you know? But, like, keeping it protected, I don't know. I feel like we need to destroy it. But the thing that I'm just worried about, it's not gonna bring an end to everything. But because Akira's gear still has it, Illudian still has, or some of the engineers know how to make it, and they got the blueprints from Midori Energy. So, like, we need to get rid of that stuff too. Just destroy it all, I guess. Like, this is one of those things, you know. It has a bigger implication on entire mankind. And that's the reason why our dad did what he did, right? So we don't want that to be in vain. But then why did he leave the decision up to us? Did he want to test us or something? I don't know. But I feel like indeed we cannot keep using it like this. I don't know. Fuck. But it's such a waste too. But worst, we didn't rely on our overdrive, okay? We got as far as we did without relying on it. So it's not like we need it. But it's we built this with our dad, though. Like, I feel like too many memories with this shit. You know, I can't just put it aside or just destroy it like that. But keeping it safe, like, sure, we think we're keeping it safe, but at some point, the thing is, the possibility is there that it can be stolen or taken by someone else. Which, you know, when we destroy it, it eliminates the possibility entirely. So, better safe than sorry, or do we risk it? I trust myself. I keep it protected. Sometimes Dad thought too much about the big picture and forgot about the details. He wanted to create a better future for us and was willing to die to make his dreams a reality. If only he could have seen that the future we wanted was one with him in it. I don't want Dad's sacrifice to have been in vain. I want him to achieve his dream. I climb up the ladder beside Eagle and open a cockpit. Then I key in the sequence which unlocks the panel protecting my core. Like a beating heart, it gives off a faint pulse of energy. I open the terminal screen in my cockpit and find the source information for my core. After collecting all the schematics and data into a drive, I set an impossible run instance. The low glow continues to brighten more and more. After a sapping noise, it becomes an opaque object. As far as anyone would know, the core short-circuited. This technology belongs with a company who will utilize it properly. Until I know who that is, I'll keep it safe with me and not bring any more attention to it. After learning about all that I have, I can't keep using it as a leg up against the competition. Eagle will use a regular core from now on. Yes, as I stand there, I suddenly feel so tired and so lost. Without thinking, I pull out my phone and dial the first name that comes to mind. Yuna?
Hey, I didn't expect to hear from you so soon.
Yuna, can we meet? Worry enters her voice.
Yes, of course. What's wrong?
I just want to see your beautiful face, Yuna. That's all. I just found out something huge and need to talk.
Okay, should I come over?
No, I'm not at home. I can come to you if that's okay.
Sure.
Why so surprised? What were you doing? Thanks. I'll be there soon. We hang up, and as if in a daze, I make it to Yuna's house. I hear barking on the other side of the door, Mochi, and Yuna ushers me in before Mochi can escape. As we settle on the couch, she frowns.
Are you okay?
Been better. Mochi leaps onto the couch and places a paw on my leg. I absent-mindedly pat his head. I think so. Looking around the familiar living room, I once again note the immaculate cleanliness of the room. Are your parents back? She shakes her head.
They're coming back tomorrow.
Oh. Right at the start of exams, huh?
As if I won't be stressed enough.
Yeah, parents. I thought you didn't like being in this big house alone.
Not usually, but now that I have Mochi.
Oh yeah, you're no longer alone with Mochi. I feel a strong tug in my lap, and Mochi bites my jacket.
Mochi! No!
Bad Mochi! Yuna scoops up the wriggling puppy and puts him on the floor. He whines, then scampers under the couch when Yuna continues to chastise him. When he disappears, Yuna peers at my clenched hand.
What's that?
I hadn't realized I'd brought this in with me. I open my hand to reveal the drive. Yuna cocks her head to the side and gives me a questioning look. It's the data to my core.
Did something happen to your core?
Not exactly.
Then why is the data in a drive?
I downloaded it. She pauses and fixes her big, blue eyes on me. I fill her in on everything I learned. She listens attentively to my jumbled mess of a story and only speaks once I've finished.
I see.
Suddenly, her arms wrap around me. What? She squeezes me even tighter and lays her head on my chest. Her touch dissolves the dam holding back my emotions, and all the pain and fear and confusion threatens to burst. Hold her back, pull away, hold her back. As my thoughts and emotions swirl without abandon, I cling on to my only thread of stability and hold Yuna just as tightly. We stay this way until I've had a chance to calm down and regain my control of emotions. Then Yuna gently pulls away. She doesn't mind being cried on, right? Sorry. I guess I'm not that fun to be around right now.
You have a lot on your mind.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, you two are a lot alike.
I blink. What?
You and your father. From what you've described, he's confident and headstrong, but has an immense heart. He was always looking out for those he cared about.
True.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
I guess. She smiles.
I know this must be confusing for you. It sounds like your dad kept a lot of secrets, and you keep wondering what if. Wondering how you couldn't see this coming sooner.
It's like she can see directly into my brain. She looks into my eyes.
You can't go down that rabbit hole. It will consume you.
I mean, she's right. Is she talking from experience?
You couldn't see it because your dad didn't want you to see it. He was trying to protect you.
I mean, yeah, of course she is speaking from experience from you, Dai.
The same way you haven't told Nikki because you're trying to protect her.
True. How did you know that? Yuna's look softens.
Because I know you. Because I'd do the same thing.
She does know me. She looks away.
Because you, Dai, did the same thing.
Oh God. Of course Yuna understands what I'm going through. Yuna. She smiles and shakes her head slightly.
I drove myself crazy trying to imagine all the way things could have been different. But in the end, it just made the grieving process that much harder. I wasn't able to move on until I learned to let go and accept what happened.
Yes, exactly. She leans against me, and I let my head rest on top of hers.
We have to keep moving forward, but we don't have to forget our past. Your dad loved you, and that's why he entrusted your course technology to you.
I guess that's why. True, that makes sense. I pause. He didn't want all of his work to be for nothing. He just trusted me that I would do the right thing with it, I guess. because he discovered this amazing thing for the future of science or whatever. He discovered this amazing thing, and even though he was prepared to burn the research at the lab so that Midori Energy couldn't get their hands on it, he couldn't part with all of that completely, because it's 10 years or more, or whatever, how long he worked on it, right? That's not something you can just flush away or burn away just like that. So yeah, he just thought that's the reason he kept it, and he just trusted us with it. Do you think I made the right choice? She pushes herself up and looks me in the eyes.
I know you did.
I hope so. I let out the breath I hadn't realized I was holding. Yuna's confidence in me is unwavering, and her strength helps me find peace. There's no use living in the past. What's done is done, and the only thing left to do is make sure I honor my father's final wishes. She snuggles back into me, and I hold her close. The silence isn't stifling or uncomfortable, but a warm blanket of understanding and companionship. Thank you. I lean in, and our lips lock. We linger into the kiss, and she melts into my embrace. As we slowly pull away, I gaze deeply into her eyes. In this moment, I have clarity. It rinses away all my stress and fears. It's okay that I don't have all the answers now, because I'm looking at my future. And it is beautiful. Our future with Yuna is beautiful. And is that the end? Dang, I guess that's the end. Oh, Nikki! Well, holy crap. Yuna and Mayu. That's quite a sort of open ending. Nikki. Of course, Valerie in such a position, of course. I'm not even surprised anymore. I was like, god dang it, why am I dressed up as a maid? Aww, Maya looks so adorable and cute. Our studious, beautiful waifu, Yuna. Oh, look at that powerful, fiery Kaori. Valerie after a hard workout. And cute Mayu again, just enjoying nature, reading a book. Is that Nikki and Kaori together? Why are they in chibi form eating chocolate cake? Ooh, maid waifu Yuna serving us a drink. Aww, much love from Valerie, guys. Oh, what? Buttered Kaori? Yarr! Cute, little bit seductively posed Nikki. That's our little sister. Dang, I guess they kind of roll with the badass Kaori in her cockpit. Sleepy Valerie just woke up. Of course, one of her wrist, what is it? Shoulder straps was like leaning off. And then there's cute Nikki hugging this little Mr. Bunny before she goes to sleep. How to draw manga? Why is Kaori wanting to learn that? Anyway, holy crap. That was actually fun credits. Thank you for playing Ace. We hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I fucking loved it. Holy crap. Well, that was the ending of the game. And for now, the Yuna route. Holy crap. I like the way how they kind of ended it. Yeah, it was fairly open, but I mean, it's a slice of life mainly, slice of life visual novel, and I wasn't really like one specific storyline throughout. Like they tried to make it kind of about the whole, you know, what happened with our parents and like the core and that, but I felt like that wasn't the entire driving factor behind everything that happened every single day. It's just something that we kind of, it set it up self a little bit in the beginning, and then they finished with that, sort of having a nice ending with that. But it was still fairly open, but it's somewhat to be expected of Slice of Life, I feel. So I don't mind it at all. But the thing that they're doing with this is that they're possibly setting themselves up for a possible sequel. Now, as far as I know, there's no such thing ever planned at all. But just, you know, leaving the possibility there is something that I feel like is kind of nice. But, you know, that was the first route out of the way, the Yuna route. She was definitely an ideal waifu throughout the entire route, but we gotta explore other options now. We still gotta check out probably Valerie next after this, and then Mayu, Kaori, and so there's plenty more to come after this. Don't worry, that may have been the end of one route, but not the end of the entire series just yet. So yeah, I just want to say, holy crap, that was extremely enjoyable. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I just hope to see you guys in the next video where we'll be starting the Valerie route. Now, as usual, I'll just be skipping through the parts that I've already played through, blah blah blah, but we'll see what happens in the next video, alright? So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.